are going to finish up the all the diorama stuff that I still didn't do. Once again, I did all of my off-screen mooching off-screen because mooching is just so much better if it's off-screen. You know, I don't like people to watch me mooch off of people. Oh no, I have a little bit too much shame for that. So yeah, I moved their house as close as I can to the pond and nothing. So, you know, no idea what's up with that. Just kind of go with you have to finish the house first, which we cannot do because unfortunately, Toan's pseudo girlfriend is still dead, basically. At least I call them dead. You know, I guess they're really not dead, but they might as well be dead. Just saying. It sounds cooler if they're dead than if you say, she's still trapped inside of a gigantic floating ball. You know, that doesn't sound cool. You have to give it a little bit more excitement. So, I go ahead and put all these items in, but we cannot, in fact, finish it. And then we can start on Claude's house, who we also cannot finish. So, I forget where I put him. Where did I put Claude? I actually think that I get rid of the river here. I'm like, screw the river. I'll put it somewhere else. Because it looks really weird if you put it in front of the river like that. But I'm also not happy with it being so close to the middle. So finally I just say forget it. I get rid of the river and I push it back. And I'll make things look prettier later. One thing that I've seen a lot of people do is, which I'll show in a second, so hold that thought. I put in all of Claude's stuff that I can. Again, I'm missing the fence, and I'm also missing his special item. And Claude is the fat guy that you saw at the intro. We get a free tasty water. It's Adventure Day 4. You know, the moon didn't fall on us. That's always a good sign. I guess we don't need Link to play the Song of Time after all. And that is Claude. He's the fat guy from the intro. Hey, Toan. I thought I was finished when I was put inside that weird bubble. Hello. Oh, skip that. Hashtag Rivanone. Let's see. A place for a house. I like it where I can smell good food. We also cannot do that location requirement yet. Don't forget the box for candies. That's most important. So, he wants his box of candies, and he wants to live somewhere where he can smell good food. And we cannot give him any of these things yet, so, you don't have to worry about that. What I was saying about the river is what I've seen a lot of people do is they'll put it, like, from the mayor's house going down the side like that, and then back across, and then back up. And they kind of have it kind of like in a rectangle minus one side. And then they set up things around that, and they have stuff in the middle. And I do kind of like that, so I might steal that design. I'm not sure yet, but I'll try to make things a little prettier after I finish. So, and before we go in, I switch weapons. I switch over to the chopper that I told you that I had, but it's not really completely necessary because there is a new gameplay mechanic coming up. And that is why I did that, but I really didn't have to, and I'll explain why in a second. So anyways, we're going to floor B7. Sounds like a very weird acronym for something, B7. And once we get there, whenever, there we go. My computer stopped there for a second. I don't know if that'll... Oh well, I guess I'll see. The Fairy King's here again to give us more things that I have mostly talked about. I talked about the back floor. I haven't showed it off yet, but this is a special floor called a limited zone. Limited zones are floors that have special conditions placed on them, in which you can't do... usually it's something that's taken away from you or something that inconveniences you. And this limited floor, whenever you kill enemies with a sword, as opposed to the sword gaining experience, you actually lose it instead of gaining it. And that is a new enemy, the ghost, that I will talk about after I finish this. So to combat this, you can just switch to a different sword that has 0 experience, because you can't actually go into negative experience. So that is what I do. But I kind of made the mistake because I just upgraded the Shamshir, so it actually cannot go any lower anyway because it is also at 0. But I guess just the novelty. And as you can see, that is the enemy that we dueled. Their official name is the Master Jacket, and we can now find them as normal enemies, which kind of makes you question exactly what the duel was for. But you know, only cool kids worry about plot holes. But they are fairly annoying enemies because they're much faster than the skeleton soldiers, and they tend to block you a lot. So they're probably the most annoying enemy that we have seen so far. But they're very weak to holy things. And as you can see, I spend a lot of time trying to kill this one because they block a lot. And to make it worse, you still lose whip when they block you. So it's like, eventually I just kind of wait for them to swing like that. But they're very weak to holy, so if you can pull that off, pull that off. But I just go it the old-fashioned way. As far as the ghosts go, they can fly up and shoot fireballs at you. And they also have a little spinny attack, and they just kind of float towards you. They die very fast, so I really don't think you're going to have any problems with them. But if you have to, anti-mage, which is one of the stats, one of the anti-stats, is what you need to work on if you're having trouble with them. But I don't think you will, so they're typically not very hard. As you can see, I'm killing them in one hit, so. But back to the limited floors. This is a scripted limited floor, which means it's always going to be here. There are some floors like this that are always limited floors, but there are also floors, limited zones, that are randomly assigned to a save file. Meaning when you hit new game, it randomizes a certain number of limited zones onto that file, and there's nothing you can do about it. So again, for any unintelligent people who might be playing along, or just anybody who might be curious, I'm going to run into limited zones that you or other people doing walkthroughs of this might not be. So just kind of to let you know. Typically, they're not that inconvenient. The one that is in place now is probably the most common, I would say. But there are some more, like there's one where your thirst gauge goes down faster, and that's the only one that comes to mind. There's another new enemy over there called an opar. As you can, if you can see it, it's a giant something. But I just kind of ignore it. I don't actually fight it. And I'm trying to lead these enemies off here, so I was very shocked that I hit him with that attack. And as you can see, there's his projectile. There's his little purple fireball he likes to shoot. At least I think it's a fireball. It might just be like a cloud of gas or something. But yeah, those opars, they can shoot some sort of strange gas out of their stomach, like that. And if you get too close to them, they will also fall on you, and it does a lot of damage. So you're going to want to watch out for that, but I don't fight them yet. They can also inflict gooey on you, which is a status ailment that makes you move slower. So it's just some things to watch out for. But besides that, I mainly just wanted to talk about how the limited zones work, because they are a tad bit annoying. I can't remember. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I know it exists in Dark Cloud 2. I cannot remember if it exists in this game, but there is an item called I think it's like a spell breaker, or maybe a scroll breaker, I wanted to think, or something like that you can buy that will actually get rid of limited zones, and it just makes it a normal floor. but it costs like a crap load of money. But I can't remember if it exists in this game or not. So somebody who's played this game before that would know. If you could tell me, I would appreciate it. But I know they're in Dark Cloud too. So you know, what do you want me to do? But anyways, that is pretty much all the time that we have. Basically, I only have a few seconds left. So when I come back, we're going to go back up to the top and do some more of the diorama, and then we'll be back, and I will see you there. So until then, goodbye.